Hello everyone, this is your boy Rice and Dice here again, back at it again with a new video. Today, we're going to be doing something different, very, very different. Not really actually that different from either content. We're going to be doing another tier list of Risk of Raid 2, but instead of items this time, we're going to be doing stages. Yeah, you heard me, right? We're going to do the stages. You know those places you go to in the game? Yeah, where you're always on when you play. We're going to be doing that. We'll be ranking all of the normal stages, so it looks like all the ones you can go to in your run. From Abandoned Aqueduct all the way to Wetland Aspect. But I'm going to do them in order of when you see them. So I'm going to do Distant Roost, Siphon Forest, and Titanic Plains first, and then I'll do Abandoned, Aphelion, yada yada, you get the gist. So I'm going to be ranking these based on how much I like them. This is a very objective list, and I'm going to be saying some very intelligent opinions about them with my major playtime in the game. And which stages I think are the best. Is Abyssal not on this list? Dude, I gotta find a new tier list because Abyssal Depths in here. Fucking hell, dude. Alright, let's go find one. 1 minute. I'm gonna pause. Okay, we're back. I found an actual tier list that works. And it looks a lot more nicer too, so you can actually see it on YouTube. I'm gonna close these ads as well, so that doesn't get in the way of the video. This is my video, not this ads video. This channel isn't even monetized, but this site is apparently, my ad block isn't blocking this stuff. So, yeah. So continue on, we're just going to start the list with Titanic Plains, and then we'll go from there. Titanic Plains, the classic starting stage, I think sits in B tier. It's a very average stage to get, and getting it as your first stage is kind of just whatever. This stage doesn't really have anything too bad going on it, but it doesn't really have anything good either. It's just a very average stage. Now, like with all of the starting stages, the enemy pools are almost identical, but when you loop, it's a little bit different. This actually has alpha constructs to spawn Xi constructs, which is a little bit scary. All 3 stages have like their own kind of enemy pools, so for looping, it's easily the worst of the 3. But pre-loop, it's decent, you know. On your first stage, when you get it, you get some cool stuff. Lunar pods often spawn this stage as well. It actually has an increased chance, I believe, so you're a lot more likely to see them there. If you don't want lunar items, it kind of takes away a lot of director credits, which does suck, but yeah, this is pretty much just a B tier stage. Distant Roost, I'm going to put it in C tier because it's all pretty much the same as Titanic Plains in terms of director credits. But the one problem with it is, instead of spawning lunar pods, which can be useful, it spawns wood sprite shrines, and that takes up director credits, so it's a bit worse because of that. So you could unironically get like worse starting stages with Distant Roost and overall less items sometimes than Titanic Plains because of the wood sprite shrine spawning in. I've had runs where I've had like 4 at my starting stage. I was only get like 3 or 4 items by TP. Not really that great. But yeah. Post loop, only thing that spawned on this stage is Jellyfish and has the exact same end pool as Titanic Plains for the first loop. And yeah, not too bad. But you prefer to get Titanic Plains most of the time. But if you do get a lot of items on this stage, then hey, cool. But you won't always get it. It's also the smallest one of them all, and it's kind of awkward to traverse compared to Titanic, where it's very open. It's a lot more closed in this, especially with the variant that's shown on the stage. The Alternate variant's probably better in my opinion, but this one's a little bit eh. But yeah, Titanic's both variants are fine. Next up is Siphon Forest, which only has 1 variant, but the cave could open not. This is easily the best starting stage to get, and it does have the worst enemy pool to start off, as in it has 1 extra enemy, which is blind pests, which on stage 1 aren't that big of a deal in all honesty. Who really cares, right? It's on stage 1, they're not going to be that big of a threat unless if you kind of just straight suck at the game. At worst, they're just going to be annoying, right? They're not going to end your run unless you fucking suck, but hey man, sucks to suck, I guess. I don't know, but aside from that, yeah, it has the most director credits. It does spawn linear pods, but with the high amount of credits, it makes up for it. So, yeah, pretty cool. But also, I like the snowy stuff on it, and like changes they did to like the snowy stages in Survivors of the Void, even on Rally Point Delta 2, which we'll get to a bit later. But yeah, overall, pretty good stage. Definitely A tier. Abandoned Aqueduct. This stage is kind of insane in terms of how good it is. You can get free double bans in this stage, and I think that alone puts it in S tier. I don't think it's the best stage in the game, but I think it's definitely an S tier stage simply because they're long. Now the director credits are whatever, they're fine. They're not the highest in stage 2, but they're good enough. Nothing annoying ever spawns with the director credits. It's usually just chests and multi-shops and shrines, whatever. Wood spray shrines don't spawn on the stage, so that's cool and all. I think lure pods can. Yeah, they can sometimes, but who cares really? It's a lot less common than it is on Titanic Plains and stuff, so yeah. Also free double bans if you roll one pot onto one of the buttons, or if you're playing multiplayer, just step on both pots, then free double bans, bam, makes your loader run, railgun or whatever, amazing. Yeah, it's the obvious S tier. Next up, Aphelion Sanctuary. I put Aphelion Sanctuary in B tier. Now, Aphelion Sanctuary is actually a pretty good stage in terms of director credits. It actually has a really high amount of director credits for the stage. I don't know how much it is exactly. I don't know any of the exact values, but it has the highest of the 3 stages, as much I can say. And although it does spawn with sprite shrines and a lot of other weird shit, it does make up for it by having a fuck ton of chests in this stage. So if you get this stage, it's not the end of the world. But the reason why I can't put anything higher than B is because the enemy pool is absolutely hot horseshit compared to the other 2 stages. First and foremost, you got rats on stage 2, and if your character that sucks against them, you're gonna really suffer from them if the director decides to spawn a lot of them. There's Clay Templars on the stage. Abandoned Aqueduct doesn't have them until posted. Also Clay Apocryphes, which are like the guys that throw like the fucking tar at you. You know those guys, the golems? They spawn there too. They don't spawn until posted Abandoned Aqueduct, by the way. So yeah, there's also Blind Pests too, and a bunch of other annoying enemies. Not that great of a stage. The boss pool is fine. All 3 of them or whatever. It technically is the better. It technically is a little bit better than this because you don't get back Beetle Queens, and you can actually no way you do get. No way is the worst one. Never mind, it is because you get Vagrant, Beetle Queen, and Stone Stray. You don't get Stone Titan. An Aqueduct is like pretty bad too, but at least you don't have to deal with Vagrants and you can get Stone Titans. But yeah, worst boss pool and yeah. So yeah, continuing on. Is Wetland Aspect. I don't hate Wetland Aspect that much, but I think compared to the rest of the stages, it's easily one of the worst in the game, if not the worst. I think the enemy pool is decent enough to put in C tier though, because it has a way better enemy pool than both stages during a loop run. But pre-loop, Abandoned Aqueduct is the superior, because you just deal Beetle Guards, dude, and lists. That's not too bad. Wetland has like golems. It's the only stage 2 I think that has golems, oddly enough. It has Gup, which is actually pretugh good. Although the Gup can be super tanky, you can get a lot of money from him, so that's pretty cool. His Jellyfish, which can be annoying. Brass Contraptions, which can do a lot of damage. Doesn't have Greater Wisp on the stage. It's one of the very few stages that don't have Greater Wisp on. I think Aphelion does too. Don't quote me on that though, because I don't remember exactly. But yeah, pretty cool fact about Wetland. But yeah, this stage doesn't really offer too much compared to the other 2 stages. This has a lot of director credits. This has free bans. This has the Ultra Nuka Hana, but you only do it once and then never again. It doesn't give you a free Nuka Hanas, and I don't think you would want that anyways. But yeah. Overall, C tier. Nothing really special. I think Wood Spray Shrines also spawn in stage 2, which isn't very cool either. Wait, do they? I don't remember. Okay, don't call me on that either. But yeah. Cleansing pools do spawn in this stage also in Aphelion. I forgot to mention that, but they're more common in Aphelion and they have a higher chance than this stage. But they can spawn, which is kind of cool. But yeah, nothing really too special at this stage, except the only thing is I've gotten used to it, so I kind of like it now. But whatever. Okay, next up we'll do sulfur pools. I think Sulfur Pools sits in A tier. Although Sulfur Pools does suck ass in terms of the boss pool, which has Zide Construct, Fun, Beetle Queen, and Clay Doomstrayer. You don't really get any very good boss things. Clay Doomstrayer is your best bet because Maraudern's okay, but the other two, yeah, no. That's a big L for me, King. Yeah. Aside from that, the enemy pool does suck ass too. There's Blind Pests, there's Clay Templars, there's Beetle Guards, and a lot of other shit that I wish didn't exist in this stage. But there's Beetles, that's kind of cool, right? But, yeah. The stage overall is kind of eh. So, yeah, so you're like, why are you playing A tier? The good thing about Sulfur Pools is it has a very healthy amount of director credits on the stage as well, which is one thing that's nice. The stage is very, very easy to traverse and very simple. It's very easy to get through as well, which is really nice. One other thing is that there's a lot of equipment that also spawn on the stage, which makes it very easy to get equipments as well. And the nuke spots are also very easy to get to as well, which is nice. You don't have to force yourself to go out of your way like an abandoned or not abandoned, sorry, Scorch Shakers or Rally Point where you have to go really high to get the guaranteed one. This one you can just go around the map, and one always does spawn, supposedly according to the wiki, but yeah. It's not the best stage 3. There's one I think that's actually a little bit better, which I'll talk about. But overall, I think it's pretty good. We'll talk about the best one. I think Scorch Shakers is the best stage 3. Hot take. A lot of you probably would disagree with this heavily, but as for me, who's been playing a lot of this game, I've come to realize it's definitely the best stage 3 now. I would not put Rally Point anywhere close or Sulfur Pools. I think Sulfur Pools is second. But yeah. First and foremost, of all the stage 3s, it easily has the best enemy pool. The only thing that's really bad about it is Clay Templars, and I guess Vultures with looping. But that's literally it. The boss pool is also amazing. You have Grove Tender, Imp Overlord, as well as the Clay Doomstrayer. You have 2 amazing items you can get from, which is amazing. It's the only stage in the game where you can get Little Disciple too, since no other boss drops it other than Grove Tender. Grove Tender is only on stage 3. You can also find a Primer too, but that's not what I'm talking about here. But yeah, pretty damn good stage. A lot of people are like, oh, you can't find the teleport and stuff. Oh, it's annoying because, yeah. This stage, if you played enough of it, you'll always know where the teleporter is. It's just one this stage isn't that great for newer players, which don't know where it is. But as you get more and more experience, you always have a good idea of where the teleporter is in the map. And once you pretty much got a general idea, like, oh, it's probably here or here, you find this, you get for this stage like clockwork. It's not that bad, alright? I think it's the most underrated stage in the entire game. And I'm tired of people shitting on it. It's the best stage 3. Don't at me, alright? And there's also a lot of cover from the Clay Templars too. You can't sit here and complain when it's out in the open in Sulfur Pools. You know, in this place, there's literally areas for cover. So yeah, that's all I gotta really say about this stage. Easily top of A tier. Definitely not an S tier, but easily top of A tier stage. Yeah. Next up, Rally Point Delta. Pretty in the middle B tier. Rally Point Delta is probably my favorite stage 3 in terms of aesthetic. I really like the design of this stage a lot, but as for how good it is to get, it's probably the worst of the 3. First, there's no like easy equipment spawns like the other 2 stages. I forgot I mentioned Sulfur Pools also has like, oh wait, I already mentioned the equipment thing. Scorch Shakers also has a lot of equipments too. It has even I think higher rate than Sulfur Pools, but you can get equipment with the shell and stuff. Rally Point doesn't know. All it has is the TC-280. No one cares about it. It sucks ass as a drone. And that takes about a fuck ton of director credits, and it's there like 50% of the time you go there. So that's always fun when you get that in the stage. You're like, oh fuck. Oh, you did also mention Sulfur Pools and Scorch Shakers also have cleansing pools. Rally Point does not. That doesn't really bump it up much, but I forgot to mention those as well. So yeah. But yeah, Rally Point. Let me get to the enemy pool in the stage. Now, it doesn't have Clay Templars, which is the only good thing it has going for the stage. Literally. But it has blind pests, blind vermins, the rats, stone golems, which is the only stage that has stone golems. The stone golems start to become annoying as fuck on stage 3 because multiple of them can spawn, shoot you with lasers, and stone golems could sometimes be really stupid. When they're targeting on a drone, they suddenly target on you, their fucking head will split and immediately aim at you. It happens a lot more often later on, and that's not fun. There's also bisons, which aren't too annoying. They're actually one of the more easier enemies in the game, but they can catch you off guard sometimes, which can be really annoying. And yeah, overall, this stage is a fucking pain in the ass, and the only redeeming thing about it is that magma worms spawn on the stage and imp overlords, so you can't get the boss drop. But aside from that, you're probably going to have the least amount of items coming into this stage and leaving it, or leaving the stage near the rest, especially that drone fucking spawns. Although, it is pretty bad. It is my favorite stage aesthetically of the threes, and yeah. Now, on to stage 4s. We'll start with Abyssal. Now, I think Abyssal is the best stage in the game. Don't at me. The reason why I think it's the best is because it has the highest director credit count in the entire game, especially if the caves open. The caves open, it is the highest, but it's not the same as the other two stage 4s. But Abyssal does on its own. Very, very high director credit. Very good boss pull. The best boss pull easily out of the 3 stages is Imp Overlord. Pretty damn good. Magma Worm. Pretty damn good. And Stone Titan. Alright. Titan was okay. Right? So, you already got 3 really good boss ends, and you got a stage with like a lot of blue and even more of the cave open. And not much else to worry. Nothing stupid spawns on this stage either. There's no like fucking wood sprite shrines. There's no cleansing pools either, which is kind of sad, but we'll talk about Siren's Call in a minute when we get to that. But yeah, nothing really bad about this stage either. Like the enemy pool can be a little bit weird. There's other Limerines that's really the only bad enemy in the pool. Gup can be a little bit spooky sometimes, and that's really about it. There's also brass contraptions. I forgot. There's also spawn, but those aren't that bad. Only Elder Limerines are really the only super threatening thing on the stage, and everything else is kind of just really, really comfortable to you'll comfortably deal with. Is what I meant to say. So yeah, overall, S2 stage, also legendary chest is always in the same spot, so you always know where it is. And like another stage we'll talk about in a minute. So yeah. Next up, Siren's Call. Siren's Call is easily my least favorite stage. 4, and it's probably not yours, but it's mine. Now you are probably wondering why is it your least favorite? Why is it not Sunder Grove? Let me get to that. First and foremost, Siren's Call has a similar problem with Rally Point Delta, where there's a very decent chance of having a low amount of items on the stage. Now you still get the guaranteed red, that's cool and all, but we'll get to that, why that sucks too in a minute. But first and foremost, wood sprite shrines spawn on the stage, which take up a lot of director credits. Fuck you, wood sprite shrines, I don't like you. Especially this game. This little stage also has cleansing pools, but no one cares about that. Let's be real. I keep mentioning, actually, we do care. It's kind of cool. And Lunar Ponds also can spawn on stage too, so you can get a free pro. I'm one of those kind of people. But yeah. Next up is the enemy pool. I think of all the stage 3s, this is easily the worst enemy pool. I used to be thinking that Sunder Grove had the worst, but since they removed Elder Limerines on the stage for Gups, even though there's Larva, I think it's better than this stage now. So first and foremost, there's a significantly high amount of flying enemies in this stage, and there's only 3, really only 1 ground enemy, aside from bosses, which is Magma Worm, which kind of fly, is Elder Limerines. Elder Limerines in this stage are a pain in the ass, but not Scorchers, Abyssal Depths also has this, so you're probably like, oh, that's not bad. But there's Larva on the stage, which is the worst enemy in the game, which are suicide bombers that jump in the air, blow up on you. You know what they are. They've killed you, they've ended your runs, they do a lot of damage. Yeah. And there's Jellyfish, which are also kind of annoying. They can catch you off guard sometimes. Not the worst thing in the world, but they're there. Brass contraptions. Alloy Vultures. This is the only stage in the game, first loop, that spawns Alloy Vultures, and they spam projectiles, dude. They're basically just a more annoying version of the Blind Pest and fire much faster. They fire a slower moving projectile, but one that's more punishing. They do basically practically the same thing, but they fire even more often, which makes it much more threatening to deal with than a Blind Pest ever will be. So, yeah. There's also brass contraptions, which are usually elemental by the time you spawn on the stage. Also pretty annoying to deal with. And, yeah, not really the funnest. And also, getting the legendary chest sucks on the stage. If you don't have a lot of damage, or you have no easy way to deal with the alloy worship unit, you're not getting a free legendary from this stage. The other two, you just farm money, and you get it. Bam, there you go, free legendary. If you don't have enough damage or anything, you're not getting this. Alright? It's simple as that. If you're not playing, like, a character that can cheese the boss either, you're not getting it either. Playing Mercenary Rex, probably don't have to worry much. But if you're playing like other survivors, you need a lot of damage to deal with the alloy, and that could be really stressful and can waste a lot of time and could end up getting you killed worst of all. And you might not even get a good red from. What if you like spend like 20 minutes trying to kill alloy and you end up getting a new Kahanas? Was that really worth it? Right? Exactly. No, it wasn't. But you get Clover, hey, that's pretty good. Though in multiplayer, it is kind of nice that it spawns one for each player instead of just having the one legendary chest. So at least there's that. But if you're not a multiplayer, you don't want this stage. You don't want to see it. When I see it, I'm disappointed. I want to go to Abyssal. I want to go to Center Grove. It sucks. Get it out of here. I'd honestly put it down here, but considering the fact it's decent multiplayer and not the worst stage in the world, I don't like it. Alright, anyways. Center Grove. Now you're probably thinking, oh, you like Center Grove. It's like top of B tier. Removing all the Marines in the stage made it slightly better, but there's also Larva on the stage instead of the Marines, which is annoying. Now, this stage by far has the worst. Oh wait, I forgot to mention it's called Boss Pull, which is okay. Magma Worms, Vagrants, and alloy Solus units, sorry, that's what they're called. I was about to call them alloy units. That's the best boss pull, by the way. Vagrants are like the only annoying thing. This stage has the worst boss pull of all of them. It has Vagrants, Stone Titans, which aren't that bad, and Clay Doomstrickers. So those two alone make it pretty annoying. It makes you seem like you're on stage, you're on a fucking Aphelion, dude. I don't know. Kind of weird. But, yeah. Stage is pretty annoying. The enemy pulls also pretty annoying as well. There's Larva, other Marines, there's Mushrooms as well. The rest of the enemies are Stone Golems, which are also really annoying as well. Pretty annoying more ground-based units instead of flying ones like on Siren's Call. I still rather deal with the ground-based units because they're a lot easier to hit. The flying enemies are much more annoying, so they're a little bit better on this stage. But still a pain in the ass regardless, in my opinion. But yeah, so why is this better than Siren's Call? Well, you get a guaranteed legendary chest. The item pool actually has items. You might have to deal with the stress of a lot of annoying enemies and being a very like close quarters kind of stage at times. At least you don't have to deal with like the potential, a lot larger potential of not getting like good items and stuff, unlike the other ones. So at least there's that. So that's why I put it at top of B tier instead of below Siren's Call. It's not that much better, I think, but the fact that you can actually get like decent items from it and a guaranteed legendary almost every time makes it way better than Siren's Call. So yeah. Now we'll continue on the list with Sky Meadows. I just put an S tier, I guess. It's Sky Meadows. Yeah, you know the stage is good. It's only stage 5, so I have nothing really to compare it to, but really good stage. The enemy pool is rough, actually. Your grandparents, Zai constructs, those suck. The Solus units are okay. Overlong Room can't spawn, it's pretty cool though. But yeah, it can spawn a couple of those stages. I forgot to mention it spawns on Abyssal or Rally Point, but you're not gonna see on Rally Point probably when you're first look. Actually, pretty much never will. Unless you're like on level 99 before you go to them. But I don't know why you do that. But hey. I guess. If you want. The enemy pool is stressful. There's Gup. That's not actually that threatening. There's mushrooms, brass contraptions, elder marines, and a bunch of other annoying enemies, but still better than some other enemy pools. But yeah, stage 5, so you expect to do all. There's also parents. So yeah, very high director credit count. There's nothing stupid that will cock you over. There's a lot of equipments usually. There's a lot of large chests, normal chests, green multi-shops, white multi-shops. Very good stage. Shade shrines, everything's here. There's nothing here to cock you. Alright? So yeah, singing us here. Now we don't know the normal stages by now. Now I gotta do the other ones. I guess I'll rank commencement next. For the final boss stage, pretty cool looking. I like it. I'm gonna put an A tier though. I'm gonna put it here. Because you have to do pillars sometimes, and some of the pillars suck. Soul pillars. Get the fuck out of here. Blood pillars and what are the ones that push you called? I don't know. And the mass ones, those ones are fine. I don't remember what it's called, but those ones are cool. Soul pillars suck though. I hate them. Doom pillars in general sucks, but soul pillars are God's worst creation. So yeah, A tier. We'll do Void Locust next. I like the Void Locust stage's design a lot, but I think it's a way more annoying stage to deal with than Commencement. Now, it does have the advantage of that you never have to see the stage in Eclipse. You should be able to access like hidden realms like this, and this on Eclipse. After when you beat Eclipse 8 on that character, it should just unlock like everything else in the game permanently, so you can, if you really want to, you can obliterate and fight this funny guy or go to the planetarium through Void Locust instead of through Commencement. I think that should be the thing, but I don't know. That's just what I think. But yeah, this stage holdout zone is way worse than Commencement's holdout zone's pillars. You have to charge all the void signals. The enemy pool here is absolutely fucking atrocious. You have to deal with void enemies. That's not fun. Although you're gonna deal with this stage a lot more late than Commencement, like one stage later. You can get actually earlier by Lunar Seers, but by the time you get very rough, you get Void Jailers, which are like one of the worst enemies in the game. They snare you, they grab you, and they put you frozen in place, and they shoot their shotgun at you. You probably might not get hit by the shotgun, but them pulling you is enough to be annoying. Void Reavers are very annoying on this stage too. They're the most annoying on this stage than any other stage in the game, because when you're charging the things, they make a bunch of room. Yeah, Void Devastator is also really annoying. Same reason as the Void Reavers. They also have a little ball attack they throw, which can blow up and easily kill you if you're not careful. Void Barnacles aren't that annoying on the stage, but can be. But yeah, not the greatest stage. Looks cool at least, and the singles are interesting. But yeah, sing a B tier. Planetarium is just Voidling's arena. Some of the stages kind of suck. Some of them are okay. I think Siren's Call is the worst one to get because there's not much cover. Abyssal and Abyssal's pretty good because there's a lot of cover on it. Apheline's pretty decent. Maybe you get like Titanic Plains or something else. I don't remember. But yeah, cool stage. I like the stage. The boss itself is meh, but the stage itself is pretty cool. Alright, Obliterate. Yeah, I guess I just threw in B tier. It's cool. I don't know what to say. Gilded Coast. Yeah, it's Gilded Coast. I like this stage. There's not a lot of cover for railing it to shoot you except for the gold like pillar things and those rocks. So I think that's actually a pretty cool design. This stage it makes it, once you summon a railing knight, there's like a lot of like things you have to like be mindful of, which I really like about. So I'm gonna put a higher up A tier for that. You also get 4 free items and a free railing knight or yellow item, which is pretty cool. Bulwark Zambri. I like this stage a lot. It's actually S tier objectively, because you can just set command and get free items here whenever you are in your run, or whatever. It's basically a free items in your stage if you go here, instead of just choosing to go to stage 6. I never really go here personally, but sometimes me and my friends will do this just to fuck around, which is pretty cool. So yeah, so it's comfortably an S tier for free items, and you can select command and get a bunch of guaranteed items, which is also pretty cool. So yeah. The moment hole, I think this is called, right? It just sits here. It's a funny scavenger here. That's all it is. So the scavengers are pretty annoying, but most parts, whatever. We'll do Bazaar last, but Bazaar is just gonna go top of S tier. We'll talk about it in a second. But Void Fields, I like Void Fields, but it's probably just more so an average stage. You need at least a little bit of healing to survive here, like a Wungus or Bungus to heal yourself with. Pretty cool stage. It's basically, actually no, this stage is S tier. Fuck it. Why am I putting it down here? This is one of the best stages in the game. If you get a Bungus, or Wungus, sorry, or even Bungus, you can go for this stage and just loot everything for free by just hitting one portal. You get a stage worth of items just like that. It's really powerful and can easily make your runs like easily go from saying. It also increases the stage count by 1, which allows like red printers to spawn earlier. It also just increases the boss pool overall, like adding more things. It makes Celestines and other things spawn earlier, but also allows scavengers to spawn stage 4, which is now stage 5. So you can get a scavenger on Abyssal or Siren's Call and on Sky Meadows, which is also pretty cool. So actually, you can't. No, you can only get them on Sky Meadows. I don't know why I said that. They can only spawn Cinder Grove. That's not a loop yet. On stage 6, sorry. I was wrong about that. But yeah. You can sometimes get a scavenger on stage 6 or on Sky Meadows before you're supposed to loop, which is pretty cool. So, yeah. I put. Actually, it definitely stays up here. Yeah. And Bazaar S tier because there's the potential to get like really insane items here. There's also free lunar items. Well, not really free, but there's a lunar shop. You can use those to get things. You get the lunar seers, or you can go to specific stages, and yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the list. Thanks for watching. Probably do more lists in the future as well. Yeah, have a good night. Stay tuned for more Club Penguin videos as well.